Hi Underdogs, it's Stacy from Underdog Wellness, and today I have another yin class for you. For this one we're going to want lots of props as always, a yoga block if you have it, or you could stack up some books. If you've got two yoga straps, we actually want to try and put them together into one large loop, and I'll talk us through that. If you don't have two yoga straps, if you only have one, if you don't even have one of those and you have a belt or a tie or a towel, you could use that. You just won't be able to go hands-free. That's why we like to have an extra large strap or two put together so we can go hands-free for this particular posture. 3 to 4 yoga blankets or whatever you've got, and a large bolster. I'm using a pillow from the couch. You could use a king-size pillow or even a regular pillow if you needed to, okay? So we'll put all that away. For our very first posture, we are going to not use any props at all. Yin yoga is where we hold poses for longer periods of time, but we're getting hate to say a stretch, we're trying to work and stretch out and get into the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, the joints, as opposed to stretching the muscle. So we're in the poses for long periods of time, and at first they might be uncomfortable, but usually the longer we're in the pose, the more the body starts to let go and things release. Having said that, if you are uncomfortable, you do not have to stay in the postures. You can get out anytime. You can change up, add props, take things away, do what works for you, okay? So the very first posture, and they're usually held 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. We're gonna go into cobbler's pose, or what else is it called? Butterfly. So first things first, let's kind of rock ourselves side to side here, and just make sure your pelvis feels comfortable. It doesn't matter where your knees are, it doesn't matter where your feet are. They could be closer or away from your body, finding what's comfortable for you. Maybe your knees are higher than mine, maybe they're lower, that's completely fine. So first things first, let's go ahead and bring ourselves up nice and tall, fingertips behind. Let's just lengthen the spine. Take a breath or two here. Let your legs do what they want to do. There's no perfect yin posture. It's kind of playing with your body and seeing what feels the best. And then we'll slowly start to bring ourselves forward. So we could do this with or without props. Maybe you're leaning forward and you're already starting to get a stretch through the back. Maybe you're letting your head drop down. Really try not to use your neck muscles here. You do want your head to drop. And sometimes we hold our head up and we don't even realize we're doing it, so really let it go. Maybe your hands are out in front of you and your elbows are lifted, or maybe your forearms touch the ground. Maybe your forearms don't touch the ground yet, but they will towards the end of the posture. It's all good. So just find what works for you. And again, coming out anytime you just can't stand it anymore, if breathing gets difficult, if you're uncomfortable, you can get out. All right. I'm going to set our timer for 3 minutes, and we're just going to hold. I like to let everyone have their own experience, so I'm for the most part going to be quiet. And just notice how your body feels. Notice your breath. Inhale, let's lift our head up slowly. Use our hands to walk ourselves back. We can put our hands behind us. Let's go ahead and lift the heart just to counteract that. And then we can place our feet on the mat for a little windshield wiper. So we'll take it side to side, just kind of moving things around, places that might have gotten tight while we were in that posture. Get that blood flowing again. So that was a forward fold. We can go ahead and shake our legs out too. Now we're going to take it into a back bend. So we're going to completely counter pose that. For that, what we're going to do is grab a block. And we're going to keep it on this lowest side here. So not too high, nice, the lowest one. Coming around, we're going to lay down on our backs with our feet on the mat, knees bent. Make sure you feel comfortable. And then lift your pelvis up and place your block under your pelvis. So make sure you feel supported. You don't want it in your low back. You want to feel like it's right in the center of the pelvis. From there, we'll let our arms be long by our sides. Option 1. Option 2 would be to bring the arms out to a T. Some people really like that. And other people like their upper arms on the ground, and they just like to rest their hands on their belly. So you get to choose what works best for you. And again, we're timing this for 3 minutes. As always, you do not have to stay here. Another option would be also to lengthen your legs all the way out. That helps to open up the psoas. The wider the feet, the easier it is. But again, you pick the perfect posture for you. And from here, let's go ahead and lift our pelvis up. We'll take the block away and slowly come on down. From there, let's go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. Pull the knees towards the chest to stretch out that lumbar, the lower back, the tailbone. We were in that back bend for a while, so we want to counter pose this one. Nice big breath here. You could even take this into happy baby if you prefer, legs up. You could do peace fingers around your big toes, or even hands on the arches, and just pull, trying to get that tailbone to come up a little bit more. Nice big breaths here. And release. Okay, so now we're going to reach for that strap, tie, yoga strap, towel, whatever you've got. If you have an extra long yoga strap, or you have two that you have put together, what you're going to do is put the strap around your upper back, okay, and then lay down. And then from there, you're going to put your foot in the strap. So if you don't have it together yet, if you've got one, you're going to attach to the other, so you'll have them both. If it's an extra long, you're just going to wrap it around and then put it between or under both of the D-rings, and then take the side and put it over the first D-ring you come to and under the second one. Did I say that right? I believe so. It'll hold it in place anyway, you'll see. Okay, once you've got that, hopefully you can let go and your leg, if you extend the other leg, will stay in place. You'll feel it kind of pull into your back, but it'll hold your leg in place, getting that hamstring stretch. If you put the strap too low on your back, usually your leg will go crashing to the floor. So you want to keep it as high up the back so that it will stay in place and you can be hands-free. If you don't have an extra long strap or two yoga straps, it's fine. You just have to use your hands, which means you will wrap that yoga strap or towel or tie or whatever you've got around your foot, and you would hold on. It's not, you don't get to relax quite as much. The arms obviously have to work, but it still, holds the leg. It helps you hold it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this again. We'll reset, and we're going to hold for another 3 minutes. As always, you can get out anytime. You might find that at first you really feel intense stretch through the back of the leg, the hamstring, or the calf. And maybe over time you find that you need to tighten your strap a little bit because it's gotten easy. Maybe you start off with a little bit of a bend in your leg. That's totally fine. If you look up at your foot, you want your foot to be flat as though you were standing on the floor. You don't want the ankle to curve or to bend or to twist, okay? So a nice flat foot, like you're standing on, I guess not even the floor, if you were standing on the ceiling, okay? So that's the main thing there. You can adjust and move things around if you need to, but it's fairly easy, depending on the tightness in your hamstring. Moving to the other side, we're gonna put the other foot up in the strap. Lower the original one down, check in, make sure it feels comfortable. You put the strap somewhere comfortable on the foot, and then slowly start to straighten that leg. The two sides may not match, so this one might be much more intense. Maybe you need to bend your knee with this one, or maybe you need to tighten. Same thing with the foot. Make sure it's nice and flat. You're not rolling into the ankle. Settle in and breathe. And let's go ahead and lower that leg down. We can take the strap and, if we've got it in a circle, throw it over your head. Otherwise, just set it to the side. And let's stretch through the fingers and the toe. Make yourself as long as you can. Nice big inhale there, just nice big body stretch. And exhale, you can kind of move those legs around, rock them side to side, pop the knees. All right, we're coming up for our next posture, which is essentially a twisted child's pose. We do not need the strap or the block, but we're going to use blankets and the bolster. So you're going to put your bolster on your mat, and your body is going to lean into it. Okay, so put it right in the center of your mat. Then from there, we're going to take one of our blankets, just like that. So it's about that width, maybe a little bit longer depending on your height. And you're going to fold it maybe about 4 inches and then kind of roll that fold up. So it's still a little flat. So you get it essentially to look like that. Now, if you have hardwood floor, you might also want another blanket to be kind of out here, because our legs will most likely come off of the mat. And if you've got a hardwood floor, sometimes the pressure on the ankle or the knee just doesn't feel good. So you want a little bit of padding, okay? I'm gonna move my timer. All right, so from here, we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it on our lower leg. We're gonna scooch the middle of our hip to the middle of the bolster or pillow, whatever you got. We're stacking knee on knee, ankle on ankle, and we're going to turn the body towards our bolster, towards our pillow, and we'll ease ourselves down. Now, the last thing you could do if you have one more blanket, you could put it right at the top of your pillow just to kind of create an extra pillow for your head to lay on. That's optional. With our arms on either side, we're going to scooch ourselves down. You can move your hips around if you need to lay down, lay the chest down on the bolster, and your head goes in the same direction as your legs. So this is it. This is our posture, and this one is a little bit more on the restorative side. It should feel comfortable. Your arms should feel comfortable. They should be able to rest on the ground. Continue to move your body so that you feel very comfortable. You don't want to feel like you're really working on this one. You probably won't feel any real pulling or anything like that, just the rotation, okay? So from here, I'm going to go back to our timer. And we're holding this one for about 4 minutes. As always, you can get out anytime you want to. You do not have to stay in the posture. If you feel like you need more props, go ahead and grab them. Add to this if you need to. All right. And let's come on up out of that. And we'll give our legs just a little shake, a little rocking in the hip joint or hip socket, and just a little bit of movement to the spine. All right, so you're gonna turn to the other side. I'm gonna move my pillow over because I don't like to turn my back on my students. But we're doing the exact same thing. However, sometimes the body feels different from side to side, so that's okay. I'm not trying to change anything, it's just the way maybe it is. Stacking the knee on knee, ankle on ankle, turning towards the bolster or pillow and coming back down, snuggling in for 4 more minutes. bring ourselves up and shake the legs out once more. Just kind of rock them side to side in the hip socket. Maybe pop the knees. Check in with the back. One more posture, and it is our Shavasana, so we get to completely relax here. For this one, we can use the bolster and use it about a third of the way down. Mine is very square, so this is not the ideal size. We want something that's more shorter, you know, like a regular pillow. So you're gonna take your long side and put it this way, as opposed to, you know, long this way. You want it to cut your mat. Then you're gonna take your roll and you can place that on top of your pillow or bolster. This will be where your knees go. Then we'll take another blanket and we're gonna turn it into a full-on roll. Just roll it up like so. And then that's gonna go at the very end for your feet. Some people's feet end up resting either arches or the heels. It's personal preference, whatever you prefer. And then our last blanket is going to act as our pillow for our head. We're gonna be here for a good solid 7 minutes, so you get to really relax. And lastly, if you have a blanket that you like to use to be cozy and cover all the way up, you can certainly add that. So let's go ahead and get into our posture. Sometimes we have to adjust as we go. We have to move things around because we didn't line things up the way our body actually is. But once we settle down, we are ready to go. Take that time to wiggle and get yourself so that you're feeling very comfortable. Pay particular focus to your breath and allow your body to relax and settle in.
Let's start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Take a nice big inhale, bring your arms overhead. Let your back arch, breathe into that, and then exhale, let yourself melt back into your mat. If you like to rock your head side to side to kind of check in with your neck, you can do that. And then let's roll to one side. We'll just find a comfortable position to lie in for a couple of breaths. Just a little transition here. And then when we're ready, we'll use our arms to bring ourselves up. Just finding another seated position, whatever speaks to you. Take a moment to check in with the breath and the body. And we'll take our hands to prayer at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.